gentlemen, this contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I'm the Big Albowski. That guy right there is Professor Keith, as always. And joining us, man, is the one and the only, the dude. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Thanks
for coming on.
All right, man. So before we get started and start asking you questions, and the comments are going to start rolling in, they already have started rolling in for you, man. I got to tell you something. Keith, I'm sitting next to Keith at every 3WA show, and your opponent comes out, Nathaniel Cunningham, and I'm like, okay, I've seen Nathaniel Cunningham before. I was like, oh, it's Nathaniel Cunningham. I've seen him before. And then your music hits. It's Van Halen Jump.
I like that song.
And I had never seen you before, so I'm like, oh, that's Jump. So I got excited because I'm an 80s kid, right? So then I'm like, you know, who's this guy? So then you come out, and before you even get in the ring, you infect the entire room. Like, everybody starts getting excited. And the crowd starts getting, like, the 3WA crowd, they're the regulars and all that stuff. So they're really excited. And I'm looking at Keith, and I'm like, I like this guy. And I didn't even hear what your name was yet. So then you get in the ring, and then Carolina Jim does the ring announcing. He announces Nathaniel Cunningham. And then he announces you, and he calls you the dude. And anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of the movie The Big Lebowski, a.k.a. the dude. And I'm like, okay, I like this guy. And you didn't even wrestle yet. And then on top of all of that, you're a pretty good wrestler.
Thanks.
So it's like, tell everybody why you love professional wrestling. Because everybody that we talk to loves wrestling. They wouldn't be doing it. They wouldn't be putting their bodies on the line for my entertainment.
Yeah.
So what made you fall in love with wrestling in the first place?
Well, the dude always liked wrestling, even when he was a little dude, you know, growing up, watching like the Attitude Era, The Rock, Stone Cold, just kind of some of that stuff just drew me in. And I just was like entertained right off the bat. And I was like, whoa. And then actually going to an event or two, I was like, even more drawn. I was like, whoa, the adrenaline and everything going on, the lights, the show, just everything. It was crazy. And then the dude actually got to wrestle in a match. Oh my God, the adrenaline. I've never felt a high like that before. I was like crazy. I was like, oh, crazy. But I love wrestling ever since a little kid. Just being out in the yard, flipping around, doing flips, you know, getting in trouble. I've been doing the suck it sign since I was a little kid, getting in trouble at school for that. So, you know, it's always been a part of my life.
That's awesome, man. So we got some comments here. David Hill says, awesome show. Thanks, David.
Thanks, David.
David Motorman, Big David Motorman was down at the SWO show, Keith. We saw him. Hey, guys.
We did.
Great, some excitement with you last night, but now it's Sunday night, and it's time for the dude.
Thanks, dude.
And thank you, Dave, and everybody else at SWO last night for inviting us down and making it a great show and a great time. Thank you to everybody who had anything to do with that show, whether you were in the ring wrestling or you were in the back putting things together. Everybody matters. Everybody makes it happen.
Absolutely. It was awesome. All right. So Talk about your training, man. Like, who trained you? Did you seek training? Like, or did somebody put you in touch with somebody? Because when I researched you, I heard the name Jack Molson thrown my way.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a long story, but
Well,
I'll tell you the.
Yeah, we
I'll
got some
tell
time.
you. So, dude was at a little festival around here in Scranton. I don't know if people know about it, but I was having a pretty groovy time, chilling, good vibes. And then the next thing I know, I wake up, I'm at Backbreakers Training Center. I'm like, whoa, how did I get here? This humongous dude, Jack Molson, just comes in. He's like, hey, you can't be here. And I was like, dude, why not? Like, not bothering anyone. And then he was like, all right, if you're going to be here, you got to do something. So I started, mopping up the floor, doing some odd end stuff, vacuuming the canvas. The dude started liking wrestling a little bit. So I was like, you know what? Looks like a good way to get your anger out. So I gave it a try. So they were very kind here at Backbreakers to allow me to start training. Justin Glory trained me for a little bit, and now Jack Mollison's been taking over. And I've been having a blast just learning a few things or two. It's an awesome way to exercise, too.
Absolutely.
That it is, and it sounds like they're teaching you the right way, where they didn't just put you right in the ring. They said, hey, get an appreciation for everything that goes into it. Help out, vacuum, sweep, mop, take care of the place. Respect the facilities, respect everything that you're getting, because you're being allowed into something that not everybody is allowed into. The more Al and I are invited to things, and sometimes we're invited backstage. Sometimes you guys go out of your way, you see us, you shake our hands, and you're like, hey, how was my match, or this, that, and the other thing. And I'm so appreciative and respectful of that you guys think enough of us to be like, oh, hey, it's so great you're here.
Yeah. I mean, without the fans, like, it's really nothing, to be honest. Like, there's nothing like being in that ring and just hearing everyone chanting, dude, cheering you on, and just the adrenaline rush, and just everything takes over. And I just want to put on the best performance at that point. I'm just like, oh, man, like, I can't let these little dudes and all these dudes down that came out to support. So without the fans, this is literally nothing. Like, love it. Whether it be 2 people in the gym or like a whole mountain full of people, it doesn't matter. The dude's bringing the energy, and I hope the fans, they reciprocate.
They certainly have been, the crowds I've been in. You told us before we got on the air here that you're actually still pretty new to the actual having matches piece of it, that you've only had a few matches, and actually those of us in the 3WA, we were actually lucky enough to watch your first match. And as I told you, I was really surprised by that, because I thought the way you carry yourself and how good you are at things, you were further along in your journey. I thought maybe a year to 2 years, and you're saying, nah, a handful of matches, and I've been, training up to that point for only about a year or so.
Yeah, I think it goes to show you about the trainers here at Backbreakers. Like, they just been an amazing, like, job just trying to get me ready and get me experience and knowledge of, like, what it takes to be the best at, like, this. And, like, I just try to put every ounce of energy and effort I have into it. So even though I'm still kind of new or maybe a seasoned vet, like, I'd still, like, want to come out and put a performance on, because the fans and that adrenaline rush is nothing like it. Like, once it go out and the lights go on and like you're out in that ring and everybody's chanting for you, maybe they're booing for you, you know what? Like, the dudes out there still try his best and try to win.
Let's talk about that first match that we saw you against Nathaniel Cunningham. I mean, did you know him beforehand, or did you work with him beforehand as far as training goes or anything like that?
Yeah, I've known Nathaniel a little bit. He's been training here a little bit. He's a nice person when he wants to be. Otherwise, he could be a little on the other side. We won't go there, but yeah, I guess he was in a bad mood that day, and he just wanted to a little anger out, which the dude is all right with because the dude has a little anger that he lets out in the ring too. So it's all in good competition. So as long as we're out there having fun, competing, and trying our best, I think that's all that matters.
When Jack got a hold of you and at backbreakers and stuff like that, like, talk about his style of training. Like, is it, because people have different training in their mind, right? They have like, fans can make up their own stuff about what they think really happens. And not that we're going to go behind the scenes and like, I'm not asking it about that. What I'm asking about is like, is Jack, like, a leader of like a militant leader, like a guy from the Marines, like a drill instructor.
Are you trying to ask if the real Jack is as scary as the Jack we see in the ring?
Yeah.
Right. He definitely could be. If you guys are any sports fans, the best person I can describe him is he's Bill Belichick. He might be a little rough around the edges, but he wants the best for you. So the dude, it's give and take. If you mess up, he's not afraid to let you know, and it's only because he's trying to make you better. So there's a little tough love in there. He loves his cardio, he loves his push-ups and his squats and his sit-ups. So he keeps us in good shape that way. So it's definitely a good time. It's a good workout for sure.
Talked about like some of your influences was like in the attitude area. Can you be more specific, like certain guys that you like looked up to, or guys that maybe you're like, oh man, I love that guy. I want to be like that guy.
I was a huge Shawn Michaels fan growing up. Love Mick Foley. I'm a huge fan of Mick Foley. Liked Triple H. DX was awesome. A little bit of obviously you could tell I took a little bit from Mick Foley here, but
yeah, I was gonna ask if Dude Love influenced at all.
But all that era, even
as soon as you said Mick Foley,
Booker T.
As soon as you said Mick Foley, I was thinking Dude Love, and but yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was amazing to me how he'd be three people and just be like, oh my goodness, like blow the dude's mind, go out and wrestle 3 times. That's how much he loved it. Like, yeah, I wish I had that love for something. And then, I got in the ring and I was like, I can understand why the dude did that.
And when you're in there, man, you just look like you're having a good time. Like we even saw you in that multi-man match. It was like 6 or 7 guys or whatever it was. And like, you just, right away in the beginning, you're like, we're just here. We should all be friends. Like, why are we all fighting? We should all be friends.
Well, always good competition, good sportsmanship. We always want the best for each other. I think the saying is iron sharpens iron. So, you want to be in with the best and, compete. So the more the merrier, I say.
So when you got into this business, do you have goals? And what are those goals?
Yeah, I think I want to be the best I could possibly be, no matter what that is, wherever it goes. I just like, once I kind of got in the ring and started doing my thing, like it just hooked me in. So I'm like, I could see myself just doing this forever, however long it allows me, honestly. So as long as the world of wrestling allows the dude to be a part of it, the dude will be a part of it.
So like, I mean, it's hard to say, like, it's hard to ask you, like, because like, I don't want to sound like if you answer this wrong, there is no wrong answer, but like some guys just are happy to be here. And some guys are like driven to where they, I want to just keep getting better and better and better so that I can reach for that brass ring. Are you one of those guys, or are you just happy to be here?
Oh yeah, no, I want to be the best I could possibly be. I want to get into bigger shows, brighter lights, the whole shebang. Like I think like that adrenaline rush in front of whether it be 2 people or 100 people is amazing. But if you can make that into 30,000 people or 40,000 or 15,000, like as the number goes up, I think that adrenaline rush and that high, that's what I'm running for. And like that's what I'm always working towards, and that's what keeps me like going right now is like that adrenaline, that rush. So I don't think that's one of those things where, you know, I can it won't ever be enough, you know. Like the dude will always be looking for that next rush and that next adrenaline, you know.
Now, like you move really fast for a tall guy. Like you're a tall guy, and you move just as quick as the smaller guys.
Thanks.
So, like, how do you come up with? Because, and I know that you're relatively new, but how? And you're probably still working on it. But how do you come up with a certain move set for somebody who's your size but can move as fast as you can?
The dude just kind of reacts, you know, like it is a little harder finding his moveset, and that's kind of one of the things that maybe as a wrestler he needs to figure out is like when he's actually in the ring, like he's got to start getting a little bit more abilities and more moves and stuff like that, know how to break out of moves and you know, just the actual technique of the wrestling. It's like an art in there. So the dude's always learning on that part. He's always adding to his repertoire. But he's been finding a hard time mixing, you know, the power moves in with maybe some of the more agility moves. And it's more based off of his opponent. Maybe he changes up his style based off of what his opponent is and what his opponent's weaknesses and what their strengths are.
Makes sense. Because you are a bigger guy. How tall are you actually?
6'4". Yeah.
Yeah, that's about what I figured you were. So I mean, just for the fans that have never actually gotten a chance to see you, when we say you're a big guy, you know, 6'4" is a big guy, but
Yeah.
it's not so big that you, like you say, you can't also do some of those more agility-based moves along with the power moves. And the one thing you do have down right from the start is your connection with the crowd. You connect with a crowd immediately. Like Al was saying, if fans go back and watch that multi-man match, I think that was what, the episode before the last episode of Carnage, Al, we had that on there. And I was there for that when Al had to miss that show. But when you were eliminated from that match, the place went dead silent for a minute because they were really hanging on you and what you were doing. They are organically behind you. And for you to get knocked out that fast, it definitely did something. I don't want to disrespect everybody else that was in the match, but it certainly hurt the momentum for a minute because people were like, wait a minute, that was my guy, and my guy is out, and I don't like this. So kudos to you that, you know, you, like you say, you're still figuring it out, but already you have that ability with the crowd. You have them already.
Thanks. I think it's just genuine, honestly, because I really am honestly like thankful for all the fans that do come out and support, and when they chant and they cheer for me, like the dude is honestly grateful for everything that like he's been a part of so far and what can come. But I mean, like I was saying earlier, like this is a business that is built around the fans, and they were kind of nothing without them. So I really do enjoy and love all their support. So and once they do like cheer, root me on, like that adrenaline rush and just something takes over, I just can't help it. Like it's something natural too.
So what's next for you, do you think? You just gonna roll with the punches? You gonna try to get yourself out there more, like try to extend the branch a little bit more so than say 3WA or your area?
Yeah, the dude's always looking for like the next big thing, you know. We're just kind of rolling with the punches and seeing what's up for now. But I'm just trying to get some matches and more experience, to be honest with you. So no matter where it is or wherever I can get it, that's kind of the goal right now, is the more experience, the better. So, I mean, whoever's willing to book me, the dude is willing to work. So,
well, the reason I ask is because Keith and I have made some friends with some promoters other than the ones you've worked with so far, namely Ryan Vox and Mark Mest at Outbreak Wrestling, and they run in Hamburg, and their next event, I believe, is in November.
I think so. That's what I saw on Facebook.
Okay.
SWO is also a possibility. You would talk to the Wolfman for that.
Okay.
And Yeah, and that's another one that's within your driving distance, I'd say.
Alright.
Another one too is up by me. It's in East Stroudsburg. It's Frontier Pro Wrestling, and I could put you in touch with that guy too, because they're looking for new young talent to bring in. So they're all within Pennsylvania. They're all within the driving range. You know what I'm saying? As you're starting to branch out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. That'd be awesome. Dude's looking to work and just, keep up with his craft and his technique and just kind of put in the work and the grind to just be the best, That's what comes with it.
That's what you got to do. You got to get out there. You got to get in different places. You got to work with different people. That's how it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, the dude is still so kind of new that it's like just kind of taking off like wildfire that it's like amazing. Like it's kind of blows my mind on how fast it's kind of caught on and how much people really love the dude. So again, I keep talking about the fans, but the dude really does love the fans. Like he really does appreciate everything that they've done for him so far.
And like Keith said, man, you're infectious. You go into a room and it's just like people want to hang with you. People want to party with you. People want to you watch you perform, and you're very entertaining no matter what you do. It's just if you already have them in the palm of your hands, it can only get better. It can only get better from here, because you got to fine tune your skills. You got to come up with an awesome dude-like finisher, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what comes with it. Like that's kind of like the next step of like the training and the process is like actual in-ring technique, like getting a little better with the moveset and everything like that. And like now we can really take off with it. But as for now, like the dude is it is what it is, and the dude just try,
So if they want to get in touch with you to book you, could they get in touch with you through Facebook?
Yeah, the dude just got on social media. He's not the best with technology.
Is that it right there? TD
That
Dudley?
is the dude. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. Dude has a last name.
I love it. So yeah, so if you want to book the dude, like get in touch with him through Facebook on his page, and his page is TD Dudley.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm speaking directly to Miguel, Ryan, Mark, Uncle Masty, Wolfman, Donovan. You know who you are.
Appreciate it.
Because this guy will be a welcome added to your show. He will come in there, he will do his thing, and he will entertain your fan base. Trust me on that. Once you book him once, you're going to want to book him again.
Thank you. I appreciate all the words you just said there. It's so kind. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. So so let's talk about, do you pay any attention to, because some guys do and some guys don't, do you pay any attention to mainstream television as far as wrestling goes, be it AEW, WWE, Impact, anything like that?
Yeah, not so much as recently, just with the training and everything, just kind of dove into that. But before everything, yeah, I kind of caught up with it, and I've gone to actually a few AEW events. They're actually pretty cool, and that's kind of what got me to like really get into like really like boosting like my training and like really getting serious about it, because that adrenaline and that rush, I was just like, whoa, that's amazing. Like one day I'd hope to like experience that and like, and then just, yeah.
Well, you talked about the Attitude Era. Is there anybody that wrestles nowadays that you kind of look at and say, hey, I really enjoy what he does, or she?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a few out there. I could Roman Reigns for sure, like what he's done, I think he's like amazing. There's Kevin Owens. I just love Kevin Owens. I think no matter what you do with Kevin Owens, he could just come out and he just puts on a performance. Same with Sami Zayn. I respect Sami Zayn. He does a lot of good things. I think Charlotte Flair, I think wrestling right now is booming. Like I think a lot of or people like to kind of crap on like this era maybe or say it's a little down, but I think honestly like it's kind of one of the best right now. Like there's a lot of good people like up and comers, even old vets, like I think that are just getting a resurgence of everything and just having like great storylines and good stuff out there. I think the wrestling world right now is just on fire and it can only keep going.
And I think it's starting to get better. I mean, in WWE, it's with Triple H is now in charge, and I think he's bringing guys back. He's changing some of the rules that Vince had laid down. He's doing all kinds of different things. And then with AEW, they're kind of in a weird they're kind of in a weird mode right now because of everything that happened with CM Punk and the Elite. So now you have, we're all sitting around wondering, okay, what direction are they going to go, and who's going to be the man? And right now, their biggest star in my mind is MJF. If you take CM Punk and the Elite out, I think MJF's the man. If he's not the man, he should be.
Yeah, for sure.
He's on his way for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely respect MJF and his work. He definitely is one that I kind of keep like not close eyes on, but I definitely watch because he definitely does some interesting stuff, and he definitely is always thinking of new stuff and always is growing. And he's one of those guys that's young and kind of changing the business on what it's kind of is. And like him and Darby Allin, I feel like AEW is still in good hands because they still got some young talent for now, and they still got a good mixture of veterans, and that they could still figure out some storylines and figure out some stuff to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, you just keep doing your thing. We already told you, and we're not blowing smoke by telling you that. No. We're just stating facts. Like when you walk into the room, they get excited, they get pumped. You're a big dude. You know, they love your style, they love your outfit, they love your entrance, they love your charisma, natural, all that stuff. Like I said, they were into you before you even started wrestling, and then you started wrestling, and then you were good at that, and you're only going to get better. So, I mean, you know, like working with Jack and backbreakers and stuff like that. So, I mean, sky's the limit for you, man. Like I love that we met you this early, and this, as some people call, green, because then we get to watch you right in front of our eyes get better and better and better, like some of the guys we've met already.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely appreciate everything too. And yeah, my career is still early, and I'm still excited to see where it can go from here. And like you said, I've experienced some success early, and it's kind of humble. I gotta humble myself sometimes because it is a little, overwhelming when everyone is cheering for the dude, and it is exciting and all that. But sometimes you just don't want to feed into the hype. And you gotta keep yourself a little grounded because you gotta understand that you gotta keep working because it's the hard work and all that stuff that got you to where you're at right now, and it all pays off. So you got to enjoy the process of everything and just the grind and being in there and doing your push-ups and sweating and just days where you're like, oh, I don't understand why we're doing this. But then you're in the ring and you get that crowd behind you and they're all excited for you, and you just you show your abilities and you understand. Maybe not in that moment when you're doing those push-ups, but now you start to understand that that's what it's all about, and that it's just the process of everything and working hard.
Awesome, man. Like, so you've wrestled just a few guys, but like, is there anybody in 3WA that you obviously haven't wrestled yet that you would love to work with? Or maybe if not 3WA, maybe some other independent guys that you know of that you'd like to work with?
Yeah, I mean, the dude's scene is a few. I mean, it would be definitely fun to go into the ring with his trainer, Molson, and see what happens there.
That could be good.
The dude might be asking for a little too much, but that'd be interesting. But even some of the Brotherhood or something like that, that'd be interesting.
I was going to say, you might have to.
Flash Thompson looks really cool. And he looks amazing, young star coming up. And there's definitely a few that I've kept my eyes on that the dude would actually like to wrestle.
Yeah, Flash will hopefully be back soon.
He's coming off of an injury. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. So I wish him well. Yeah.
I was thinking, Keith, that I think he'd be a good opponent for Sage Matthews of Dog Nation. No.
That would
Big fan
definitely
of
be, yeah,
Domination
that
too.
would be
Yeah,
a
that'd be
great
hilarious.
matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, great match.
You say hilarious. Why do you say that would be hilarious? I'm just curious.
Big fan of them and their work. I like stuff
Yeah.
that they do. So I think we could have just great chemistry and just figure out some stuff.
Absolutely, and they're impeccably trained as well. They've got great credentials in that regard. Yeah, anybody working with Dog Nation wouldn't be able to fail but to get better from having worked with them. And they're nice guys. We won't tell the 3WA audience that, but down in SWO, they know what we're talking about.
Yeah, their faces in SWO. It's weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you're right. So we go to 3WA and everybody hates them and they hate everybody. And Sage Matthews like gets people's faces wet with his wet hair, and then he tells them off, and he's not below swearing at them and calling them whatever every name in the book. We get to SWO. Keith and I were at SWO last night, and their music hits, and they go nuts before they even come out.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the reaction that you want when you're a wrestler. You don't even have to come out of the curtain yet, right?
Your adrenaline just starts pumping right then and there, and you're just like, you just know right there that it's going to be a good night because, like, the crowd's electric, and then that just pumps you up, so then you start feeling electric, and it's just a crazy just mix of energies, and that's, like, the sync that, like, I always enjoy, like, the connection with the fans, and, like, when you come out and that just energy is just amazing. And that's what I, like, live for is, like, there's just no high like it.
So one of the super fans of 3WA, his name is Mike Bucciaroni, and he is a huge fan of yours. He's also a huge fan of 3WA in general, but I mean, he's at every single show, front row. He called when he first saw you as a wrestler. He kind of related with you because he fancies himself an old hippie. So he's like, yeah. So he's like, hey, I really like this guy. I really like this guy's style because he used to be you way back when. But anyway, Bucciaroni asked me specifically to ask you a specific question, and that is, will the 3WA fans either soon or in some day in the future see some the dude merchandise, as in T-shirts or anything like that?
Yeah, the dude, because the dude was still so new to the business, like that's just one thing that he had no idea about. So the dude definitely just got some new shirts and some stickers and some merch. So hopefully at the next show, I will be there this Saturday coming up. I believe, was it the 24th?
It is the 24th.
So, yeah, the dude will be there. He's not sure if he's wrestling, but he will be there. So if you guys want merch or stickers, it should be for sale then. So the dude is he's working his way on getting his merch out. So, but the 24th, it will be available.
Yeah,
and one of the great things about 3WA is if you show up and you have your gear, chances are you're going to get a match.
Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully, but the dude never, pressures or you can only wish.
Yeah. So if you want to check this guy out this Saturday in Quakertown at the Q Mart at the 3WA, their September show this Saturday. 6 p.m. doors open, 6:30 bell time. The dude will be there, whether he's in action or not. We'll find out, but he'll be there, and hopefully he'll have some merch. So Bucciaroni, I hope you got your answer. For tickets for that event, you can call 215-362-7184 to reserve your tickets for that event. Tickets are $20, guys. So you bring the kids, you'll have a great time. Keith and I love the shows that 3WA puts on, and now this guy is starting to become a major part of that show.
Yeah, come on, support. It'd be awesome. Either way, you'll get to see the dude, whether he wrestles or not, but he hopes
he's going to be hanging out. He's going to be hanging out. So
yeah, for sure. I'll definitely be around.
Let me just say, if they're wise, they'll throw you in the ring with somebody. I mean, if they already got a match, whatever, somebody.
Dude can only hope.
So can I ask you about Van Halen's Jump of all the songs you picked? Because I mean, you pretty much like you're pretty damn cool. So I think you could have came out to a lot of different songs, if not necessary back at that era, but I mean, there's a lot of songs that might scream this character. Why specifically Van Halen's Jump?
To be honest with you, it's just organic. Like the vibes I get when I put that song on, and like it just worked. So I went with it, and it was just perfect for me. So I was like, yeah, I definitely dig that song. So when I hear it, it just like gives me just good vibes. So I just start jamming out to it. So it kind of worked.
Yeah, the only reason why I ask is because it's like my brother's like favorite song, and so I like I had to ask because I was like, as soon as I heard it, I thought of him, and I was like, wow, like, you know what I mean? I got like goosebumps. You didn't even come through the freaking curtain yet, man.
It's a great song. The dude just vibes to it every time he hears it. He's just
Keith, you want to ask him anything?
I think I've gotten through most of the questions I've had. I was kind of hoping that, I know it's early yet, but I was hoping we could get Greg Thundercat Winters chiming in, because he's been doing this forever, and he loves when we have guys like you on that haven't been doing it terribly long, because he loves to come on and be like the Obi-Wan, and be like, ooh, you could do this and you could do that, and then he tries to lure you to Alabama to have a match with him.
So I have all right. So the reason Greg Thundercat Winters is not watching us live is because he is he's an hour ahead of us, and he's used to us coming on at 6 o'clock. So even if he knew I was on at 4 o'clock, he might not have made that connection yet.
Yeah.
And so honestly, like, so he's gonna. I know I'm gonna get a text from him at like 5 o'clock and saying, "Oh, damn, I missed it," because he hates to miss. He hates to miss around the turnbuckle because he's a 17-year pro dude that likes to give young guys advice.
Yeah,
and so
he's
sometimes
been so great for us that way.
Yeah, and sometimes we count on him to throw you some advice. But I mean, have you been like, since you've been coming to Quakertown and whatnot, have you been like talking to some guys that have been doing it a while and maybe getting some advice from those guys?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely like a sponge in that locker room. I just like to kind of chill back and relax and like listen to what they have to say, even if it's not about my match, or just kind of see the whole process, what they have to say about what they're about to go through and what they're about to do, and kind of what their angle and what their process is. I kind of definitely like to, sit back and watch and just kind of learn as much as I possibly can, So I definitely pick some brains, ask a few questions, but yeah, I kind of sit back and just kind of let them do their thing, because the dude is still a little new, that he just kind of, allows them to kind of do their thing. He doesn't want to bother too many people, but he's always up for suggestions, and his ears are wide open. So whenever anybody ever gives him advice or wants to talk about something, he definitely sits there and has the conversation, because you just never know what you can learn from someone.
Absolutely, good man. That's what you do. Don't be annoying, but you know what? If somebody comes over, or if you see that opportunity to beeline over and say, hey, I saw you did this the other week. Why did you do that here? Could I learn how to do that? Would that make sense for me? That's the way to do it. Because that's the great thing about 3WA. It's such a mix. It's veterans that have been doing it for a while, that have been trained by guys that have done it at a high level. Right now, the heavyweight champion, Mike Mars, he's an Iron Mike Sharp student. He's done, enhancement work for WWE and whatnot. And I know he's one of those guys that he loves to share. He loves to talk shop. Theo Ivory's making a big name for himself out there. He's getting out there. He loves to talk to people and share. It's a good group.
Oh, for sure. The locker room is definitely really great. They're definitely very welcoming. They definitely give you pointers, and like I said, definitely take them. Even if it's the smallest of pointers, I definitely take anything they have to say. everybody has more matches than me at this point, so I have nothing to say to nobody. So I'd sit there with my ears open and just let them talk.
Yeah, and another thing too is some of the guys have mentioned to me like they like to chat to some of the guys when they're out there during intermission. So like if there was a brain that you wanted to pick, say like a Theo Ivory, because sometimes he likes to come out and interact with the fans or something. Like if you're coming out there and to interact with the fans as y'all do during the intermissions, you could set yourself up right next to Theo maybe, and like if you got your t-shirts that you're selling and you're next to Theo and he's doing like selfies and stuff like that, man, you just like strike up a conversation with him. And I know we've known Theo now for 2 years. He's the kind of guy that would love to, you would actually be flattered that you ask him anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another guy that watching his journey has been so gratifying as he gets more confident and he gets more success, and he deserves every bit of it.
Yeah, for sure. I've definitely talked to Theo a little bit. He's a good guy. I definitely can learn a lot more from him. But like I said, I just kind of let them do their thing. Dude's a little shy backstage. He gets his mind right and just kind of chills off to the side. But even that part of the business, he's still a little new to, just me interacting with the crowd and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely can just learn anything from anybody. So I definitely can just start picking his brain off that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we haven't done this in a while, Keith, and it's one that I'd like to bring back. We haven't done this in quite some time, and that is like if you could book yourself, dude, in a dream match scenario against like anybody, either they're retired, they're alive, they're dead, maybe they still wrestle, anybody that's ever stepped foot in the ring, who would that be and why?
Oh, wow. To be honest, I'd probably pick Stone Cold.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a
good
great
contrast there.
Yeah, that's why I kind of picked it. I think it'd be just interesting on what we could try to figure out what to do, and then it's just such a contrast that I think it might even complement each other. You never know.
Yeah, I could see it being like the Dude Love tag team again, where it's the happy go lucky guy with the guy that just hates the world and doesn't like anybody, and you charm him and you slowly kind of bring something out of him that he didn't know was there.
Well, we have a fellow wrestler with a comment that wrestled actually twice yesterday, and that's Prince Piranha. What's up? Prince Piranha says, "Yo, what's up, dude?"
What's up, dude? What's going on, Prince Piranha?
Good to see he's in a great mood because our team just disappointed us.
Well, right.
Snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Ravens.
Yep.
Weren't you giving me crap that the Ravens were?
Was, but I thought I stopped myself when I said as long as they don't screw it up. I thought that stopped, the gods from reaching down and going, getting a little cocky, are we? We're gonna stop that stuff right now.
The Ravens,
no,
the
Dolphins scored within the last 2 minutes, and they tried to air it out, and it just didn't happen.
Listen, the Dolphins are better than people think. Anyway, back to the dude. Prince Piranha says, "You versus Riddle would be gold."
That would be something good too. Yeah.
What do you think of Riddle, dude?
Bro versus the dude. That'd be fun.
That'd
be a
versus
fun
the dude
thing too. Yeah.
I think they'd be better as a tag team, no, Keith?
I mean, yeah, I could see that too. They could just throw down and who's more chill.
Yeah. One would chill out the other a little bit more. You'd have a little too much chill, I think. I don't know.
We would definitely be chilling, that's for sure.
I love that WWE did an event in Colorado recently where they in Denver, I think it was, where it was only a couple months ago or something, where they were in Denver, and one of the wrestlers was shooting a promo at Riddle, and he's like, you know, are you even? Can you even see me right? It might have been the Miz. I don't remember, but can you even see me right now? Because we are in Colorado after all.
I did see that. That was a good one. It got a little pop from the dude. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, man. So
they've been talking about.
Right. So, man. So, listen, we're gonna wrap this up. But I mean, if there's anything else you want to say or promote besides that you're gonna be in Quakertown this Saturday, you know, let her rip.
First off, I definitely want to thank the fans and everyone that tuned in. Definitely appreciate all your support and everything. And then I want to thank Around the Turnbuckle here for allowing me to be on and giving me a platform and giving me an opportunity. I definitely appreciate that. Nothing really else to support, to promote other than my Facebook. You can find that TD Dudley Facebook. Other than that, I'll be at Quakerstown Saturday, September 24th, and then who knows where else the dude will be. He just be around.
Well, my public to piggyback off of that, my public service announcement to all you bookers out there, be it Outbreak, SWO, Frontier, Uncle Masty's, book this guy because you will not regret it. He's something to behold. He's very, very entertaining and very skilled in the ring, and he's only going to get better. So get him now before he starts to get too expensive.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yes, and then check out, guys. I want everybody to know. Check out that this Saturday morning, at noon rather, it's going to be me and the professor and JT Cage breaking down the whole card for this Saturday's event in Quakertown. For tickets for that event, call 215-362-7184 and reserve your tickets for 3WA this week. The dude will be there. And Bucciaroni, bring your money because he's bringing some T-shirts. Just saying. All right. And what else do we got? Keith, did you happen to catch on the bottom of your screen there for a little bit there? I had it going. Who our guest is next week?
Let's see. Oh, I did. Greg is back. The mechanic is back.
The high impact champion of 3WA, Greg the Mechanic Manuel, will be here next Sunday at 6 o'clock at our normal time slot right here on this channel. What do you think of Greg, dude? Like, you'd like to wrestle him now?
Absolutely. That was definitely one that I left out. Greg's definitely a great dude and a great wrestler, and the dude would definitely like to wrestle the Greg the Mechanic. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So listen, we wish you nothing but the best success. Any way we can help you. You want me to personally put you in touch with those promoters I mentioned if they don't happen to catch this, but most of them do watch it. I know we have Miguel, who's in charge of Frontier Pro Wrestling. We have him on this show in a couple of weeks. He wanted to catch up with us and see how Frontier's going. They've moved. They were in Broadheadsville. They've moved to East Stroudsburg, a little bit bigger venue, a little bit more people. So he's aiming high. Uncle Masty's just getting his thing going up near Scranton. So, I mean, yeah, sky's the limit for you. Just get yourself out there. And I'm going to let the professor give you some advice because he always gives really good advice.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the best thing I could say to you right now is just go out there and make friends, talk to people. Wolfman's at every 3WA show. You could talk to him about going down to SWO. He's got his hands all over that one. Can certainly make something happen for you there. And just get your name out there. Just get yourself out there. And people will figure it out and people will book you. We've got you anytime you're in 3WA. We've got you on YouTube for the Carnage shows. We're always putting you over huge and sharing that out to the people that we know and our followers because we just want you guys to be successful. We want you guys to have the biggest audience you can have to watch what you do.
So, dude, have you ever watched 3WA Carnage? Because if you haven't, I urge you to because Keith and I do the commentary for that.
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes.
Yeah, and I usually root for the professor.
You.
Yeah, the professor does the play-by-play, And you know, he's the guy that kind of keeps me grounded because I say outlandish, ridiculous things that I shouldn't. But anyway, I root for the heels, and you're not a heel, but I had to say, you know what, Professor, I like this guy's style, even though I normally would say, you know, who does this guy think he is? But I couldn't do that with you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Won the evil man over.
Unbelievable. All right, man. So hopefully we'll see you this Saturday in Quakertown, and we're gonna get you out of here. And Professor, you got any parting gifts for my man? Don't remember, guys. Wait one second. Sorry, Keith. Next Sunday, 6 o'clock, around the turnbuckle.
Regular time.
Greg the Mechanic Manual will be back. But this
Our
Saturday,
friend and yours, Greg the Mechanic Manual.
This Saturday in Quakertown, the Professor and I will come hang out with us and the dude in Quakertown at the Q Mart. 6 p.m. The doors open, and at 6:30 they blow the roof off the place.
Yeah, bring money, buy merch. I'm sure I'm sure Greg the Mechanic will be very mad at me if I don't throw that out there. That man is
right.
That man is the definition of hustle. Supporting
your local wrestling doesn't just mean buying the ticket, guys. Like, these guys work hard and try to put on a great show. So, yeah, snag a T-shirt.
And the merch sales go directly into their pocket. The promoters aren't taking it.
Snag a T-shirt. Dude's going to have T-shirts. He's going to have stickers. Like, snag a T-shirt, snag a sticker. What'd I say? Anyway, Professor, go ahead. I'm sorry. Parting gifts.
It's okay. I want to thank you for coming on, dude. You were actually the first guy that I, all by myself, like a big boy, booked for the show. Usually it's Al approaching people and bringing them on. I mean, he did text me, and I was like, oh, hey, the dude's here. I'm going to see about talking to him. And he sent me like a very quick 2-word command, book him.
Book him.
And I did.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I walked up to you a couple the show before that, and I handed you my card, and that kind of planted the seed. And usually I don't do nothing after that, but I hadn't heard from you, so Keith was at the show and I was on vacation, so I you know, if he was in a conversation with you and exchanging numbers and stuff like that, I was like, book him, please. All right, but yeah, man, you were awesome. Again, we wish you nothing but the best, and anything we can do to help you out, you let us know. And again, the only thing we ask of you is, you have a friend, or if you have somebody you train with, or anybody that you know would benefit from coming on here and telling their story, send them our way.
For sure. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the opportunity and everything you guys have done for me. So, and thank you for, putting me over with the promoters and talking good about me. So I really do appreciate everything and the time and everything. So I appreciate you guys. You guys do great work. You guys, you're for the wrestlers, and we really need something like that in this industry. So keep up the good work, guys. I really appreciate everything.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you saying that. For the dude and the Professor, I'm the Big Albowski. This was Around the Turnbuckle. We'll see you guys next week.
You think you know me?